Good morning. So I'm picking up where I left off last week, where we started with general HTML. And you recall that if I typed in the body, it just will run on and run on. I'm going to go ahead and hit File and Save As. Whoops, I hit something else. Save As. And I'm going to go to the desktop and make a new folder. Remember, you always start with a folder, because if you move things into that folder, you're going to have all kinds of problems later on with nothing showing up. So now that I did that, if I open my folder, which is slightly out of screen, and just double click that, you see that the only thing you have is my title bar. And then I'm going to type, hit return, hit return, hit return. Nothing happened. So the way in which we can determine and give it some action is by typing in some general codes. So one of the basic codes is the H, and I'm going to make this H1. Remember, that's my open tag. And at the end of that sentence, I'm going to make that a close H1 tag. Now, H is a header, and you can do H1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and see what will happen. So I'm going to save. I'm using Command S as the shortcut. I'm going to bounce back here and refresh, and you see now that my type is much larger, and hit return has moved to the next line. That's because I have told it that this H1 is a header, therefore it's the only thing on the line. For the next one, I'll put in an H2, and then again start, and it'll automatically close it. I'm just going to jump some numbers. You can play with this. This is jumping to H4. It would make sense that the bigger number makes bigger type, but it's the exact opposite of that. The bigger the number, the smaller the font will be. And then, of course, save, pop out, refresh, and you see them getting smaller, but those tags have determined that there's a break in the line as it goes down. So those are one way to adjust the size of your type. We're going to, in a CSS video, we'll adjust it in a different manner. Now, I'm just going to get rid of all that. I'll keep my type something in place, and note that with H1, lowercase, H1 through H6, I am adjusting the size of the font. H equals header, just so you remember that. Now, I just hit some hard returns again, but really that's just organizational. Another thing I can do is use the P tag. The P tag stands for paragraph, and anything that I type inside here will stay together in a paragraph format. Oh, I can't type today. And I'm just going to copy all of that because I want more text. Oh, I'm moving myself around. I'll shove me over in the corner there. So if I take all of that and copy it, paste, 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 just to have a lot of text there, I'll save it, come up here, hit refresh, and you see that note was by itself, and then everything within that P tag stayed together. So it's a paragraph. I can add another paragraph tag, and I can type inside a second paragraph tag, and then I'm just going to paste all that junk from the one above. Command S for save, refresh, and now you see it's in another paragraph tag. So one by one, as sensible as possible as you're putting your text in. Now, let's say that I want something to be bold. I can go and put the bold tag, which is just B, around the H1 through H6. So I have bold there. I'm going to put an I for italic around H equals header. I'll save that. That will pop up frequently when you're using it, this thanks for trying Sublime. You don't have to purchase it, so just hit cancel. Then I'll save it, hop to my other screen and refresh. Now you notice that H1 through H6 is bolder, and then the H equals header is italicized. So these are just some basic tags that you can use. And what I'd like you to know is that you can go to W3 Schools, that's World Wide Web, and you see it pops up. I use this all the time, and there are tutorials, and if you're inside here, let's say we go to Learn HTML, you have your introduction, your editors, but if you pop to Basic, it talks about how you set it up, just like we have. Notice they've used an H1 and a P the same way. Your H1, 2, 3s. They also let you try this yourself so that you can see what's happening. And they show you what these links are. Now, we didn't get to a link yet. I'll do that in another video. They also talk about images. But if you just scroll through here, you can get a sense of what other things might mean. I'm going to take you through slowly so that you learn it step by step. There is, I mean, you could get lost in here. So I'm going to ask you to be super careful and just stay with me. So for now, all I did was add H tags, headers, bold, italic, paragraph. That's it for today.